to look and see that he destroyed you.
He didn't, Mum. He didn't.
Today, how real life informed a powerful film about a young British mother who struggles to reclaim her identity after an acid attack perpetrated by her ex-boyfriend. The protagonist, Jade, is played by first-time actor Vicky Knight, who's a burn survivor herself. Dirty God is Dutch director Sacha Polak's third film and her first in English. Sacha and Vicky join me in the studio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. Congratulations on this very strong moving film. Dirty God opened the Rotterdam Film Festival. It's also been at Sundance and various other festivals, and you're going on to all over the world, it sounds like, with this film. You've been working on this film for 7 years or more now, probably.
I don't know.
How did it come about?
I had the idea at first when I went to a music festival and I saw a young woman with scars. And she was severely burned. And I looked at her and I looked away and I saw everybody around her doing the same thing. And I thought this woman, she deals with this every single day of her life. She goes out to do shopping and people are going to stare at her. So that was the first idea. And then I was working in London a lot at that time. And there I started interviewing young burn survivors with my co-writer. And then we heard about these acid attacks happening. And I immediately thought, this is such a important topic. I want to do something with this.
And Vicky, how did you get involved in the film?
A few years ago, I was in another documentary that humiliated me on TV. They basically said they wanted someone with burns to see how they lived their life. I agreed to do it, and it turned out to be a dating programme called Too Ugly for Love. So when Lucy Pardee, the casting director for Dirty God, when she approached me, I refused point blank. I ignored her for a whole year, because this other programme humiliated me. So then she called me on an unknown number one day, and I answered, and she went through what the film was going to be about. Met up with her, and we did a self-tape, and we made a movie.
You made a movie. How important was it to work with a real burn survivor, someone who really had scars?
For me, it was very important because this was my initial idea. I thought for me it was really important that you would believe the main character, that you would feel sort of her pain, and that it would be, that you would feel that instead of you would see a famous actor and you would think, lovely makeup, well done for that. But I didn't know if she would be there. So I started the casting process very, very early on. We didn't have any money to make the film. My producer and me, we were sleeping in youth hostels in bunk beds together. And then we started looking. So we met up, really early on in the process.
Mm-hmm. And when Vicky came on board, how did that change the film for you?
A lot, because the script wasn't written then. We had a version of the script, but I think Vicky really informed the script as well, and we spoke a lot about it. And there were things like Vicky has a tattoo on her finger that she did herself, and I thought it was really funny. So I wrote it in the script. So those kind of things informed the script a lot.
And Vicky, tell us a bit about your story. What happened to you? How did you get your scars?
So 16 years ago now, I was involved in an arson attack that unfortunately killed my 2 baby cousins, and the man that saved my life, he also died. So I mean that's just that's what happened. But no one's been brought to justice yet, so we've still got that hope that someone's gonna be punished for what they've done.
And when this opportunity came along, you were actually working in a hospital in a burns unit, weren't you? So lots changed for you since then.
Yeah, I mean, I still work there when I'm not doing this. But no, I love my job. I mean, it's given me. I mean, before I even started doing the film, I was at a point in my life where I practically gave up. I didn't want to live with my scars anymore. I was very suicidal and just self-neglecting, and I just felt like a monster. I didn't feel human at all, because I got bullied a lot when I was in school and college. So I felt like this this monster, this creature. I didn't see no way out of it. So when Sash gave me this opportunity to do this film, I'm a completely different person. I accept myself. I love my scars, and I don't see the point in hiding it anymore. So.
Okay, well, I want to take a look at a clip from the film.
This is expensive, man. 137 quid for that.
For this?
Do you not feel like you're suffocating in that?
Oh. How you like me now?
You're so cool.
That's what I said when I woke up.
Oh, man.
I had it on. But I had a full face one.
I just
But
feel like
because
it's really
this is
claustrophobic.
because it's got better.
No, I don't like it, Jade.
So there we see Jade sort of laughing at herself, being humorous. I know from interviews that you've done and what you just said that you've been treated badly in the past because of your scars. How difficult was it to bring that experience into the film?
It was very difficult. I mean, I didn't expect, to even have these feelings and emotions. I thought I dealt with them as a kid, but obviously not. So as when we had like the personal shots of like the masturbation scenes and things like that, it was quite difficult because I hid my body for so long, and I sort of went into like a panic mode and thought, well, now the world's going to see it. So I didn't really know how to cope with it, but Sash was an absolute angel on set. If I needed 5 minutes out, then no one would tiptoe around me, so the support was absolutely great.
And in the opening scene, there are these, it's an incredible opening scene. There are these very close-up shots of your scar tissue.
Yeah.
What was it like watching this film for the first time?
When I first see it, I've literally thought, like, these last 15 years, I've cried for what? Because I look no different to anyone else, and there's nothing wrong with me. And I just felt like all them bad feelings had gone. And it's just, I'm mind blown by the film, to be honest with you.
And this is really new ground, isn't it, for film? Because in the past, scars are often used for villains.
Yes.
To show people are evil. But here we see something else. We see vulnerability, we see beauty, we see sexiness. The tide seems to be turning, do you think? And a lot of it may be because of your film.
I hope so. Would be good.
Yeah.
No, of course, that would be wonderful, I think, if that could happen. And I think the time is right. Vicky said before, like, who's gonna want me in a film? Like, the only people that won't want me is maybe a horror film or anything. But I think the time is really changing, and it would be wonderful to see her in a TV series or whatever,
And London, as you were saying earlier in the interview, where the film is set, had something like, I think it's nearly 500 acid attacks in 2017. I think CNN called it the acid attack capital of the world. What do you think is happening? After doing this film, you must have learned quite a lot about acid attacks. Why are young women being targeted? Why is it happening in London? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's not only young women, it's now also in gangs. And I think it's easy to get your hands on. People don't really know the impact it has, because it feels a bit like throwing a glass of water. It doesn't feel that dangerous, but you are destroying somebody's life. So I really hope it can change as well, people's thoughts on this. And I think they're really busy trying to regulate it and make it a sort of not as easy to get your hands on and things like that.
As well as all the things we've talked about there, the film is also about motherhood. And we see various mothers in the film and what it's like to be young right now in 2019. What do you think the film says about today's world?
No. So for me it was important that it really played in 2019, that you would feel like with the music and things like that, that it's really set in the now, and that it's kind of difficult to grow up, and that there's a lot about appearance, that Instagram and all those things are very important, and it's especially difficult when you look a bit different. So that was important for me.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, the film is... Yeah, I don't know.
It says a lot about today's world.
It does.
It says a lot about today's world. Okay, we always end the film with our guest cultural pick of the moment. Vicky, what have you chosen for us?
Wild Rose. Yeah, I see that in Dublin Film Festival. It was amazing.
Tell us about it.
So it's about a young girl. Yeah, she wants to be a country singer, and yeah, she tries and then fails, and she's got kids as well. So that's about motherhood, and yeah, and in the end, she does succeed. So I love the film. I thought it was amazing.
We're seeing a lot more films with females in the main in the main roles, which is good. And Sacha, what have you chosen for us?
I chose The Souvenir by Joanna Hogg. I saw it, it was as well in the competition in Sundance. And I thought it was a very special film. I had never seen a film of Joanna Hogg before, but I loved the actor Tom Burke. I thought he was amazing. The film is about a woman who falls in love with a guy who's an addict, a heroin addict, and their chemistry is amazing. And she told me that it was a very personal, or she told not me, she told everyone it was a very personal film for her. She had been in a relationship like that, and I thought it was very special the way she approached it, and she gave the actors all her diaries and things like that. I thought it was, was pretty good.
Okay, well, we're going to play out with The Souvenir. Vicky and Sacha, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. And a reminder for you guys that Dirty God is out in France now. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
So I'm trying to work out where you two tessellate here. How, what, why, when.
Can you lend me a couple of quid?
Yeah, sure. You want me? Can I borrow some money? Please.
More money?
Yes.
Oh.
You're too nice. You need to properly get aggressive. Don't lie, Anthony.
If you don't want to know,
I do
then
want to
don't ask. Stop torturing yourself.
I'm not.
Stop inviting me to torture you.